This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, thanks for reminding me to record this session. Okay, let's continue. So, uh, earlier we learned that a class means, sorry, an object means states and behaviors. It's a real world physical entity which has got states and behaviors. And also we learned that to create an object, we need a class. All right. So now we're going to talk about this section. What is that? State. Let's talk more about this state. And I mean, both programmatically as well as practically, we're going to demonstrate this. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate, and you also have to practice along with me probably. Okay, you need to have a book and a pen with you. Be sincere. See, guys, the only difference between live class and the online live class is this. In my live class, in the classroom sessions, I can really come to you and check whether you are practicing it or not, right? So when it comes to online session, I cannot come to your place and really check whether you are practicing or not. When I ask you to do some programs, when I ask you to do write some programs, okay, you really have to write it in your book. Okay, so I'll give you, if you need time, just quickly in 10 seconds, go and grab your notebook and pen or pencil. Be ready with that, because I want this class to be more interactive. So when I teach you certain things, I want you also write and practice. Okay, so here, your sincerity, your commitment towards your learning takes you to the different level. If you are not committed, definitely you cannot go to the next level. Okay, you will only simply listen to my classes. Okay, fine, but you will not become expert in that. You really want to be expert in that. Follow your teacher instructions. Follow my instruction. In your case, I'm the teacher. Follow my instructions, right? And then please write the program, and this really helps you a lot. Okay, this is the way that I can make you more interactive, and I can make you to practice more and more things, right? So I'll give you 10 seconds now. Please grab your notebook and a pen or the pencil, whatever it is, to write. Okay, bring it back. I'll just wait for you now. Dandu is asking me a question, why it is called non-primitive data type. I'll talk about it when I introduce you to data type, probably in 1 or 2 days, Dandu. So I'm still waiting. So people should go and bring your book. Keep it with you. So from my birth, okay, this is the first time, like, this much short haircut from my birth is the first time. Yes, Chandini Singh. So in our rituals, we never like, the shave the head. So at least we need to give little bit, we need to leave a little bit of hair. So that's why I have a little bit of hair. Thank you. Thank you, Panda. Okay, fine. I shall continue now. Okay. So when I asked you to write certain things, that time you write. Now don't be busy in writing. Whatever I write it here, don't be busy in writing. Okay. Now what I really expect from you guys is just focus. Okay. Now we're going to talk about more about the state of an object. Okay, the state of an object. Cool. Now, what do you mean by state? What do you mean by state? The state of an object is nothing but a property or the information, right? The property or an information or the data which describes an object. That's the meaning of state of an object, right? What do you mean by behavior? Behavior is nothing but an action or a work or a task, right? Action or a work performed by an object. So this is more or less, this is something to deal with the data member, right? So that's why state of an object is also called as data member, okay? So please keep your microphone muted. State of an object is also called as what? Data member. So behavior of an object is programmatically called as member methods or methods. Some people call it as member methods or simply methods. Are you all clear now? So in today's session, we're going to talk about the state of an object. Not only today, I think today, tomorrow, and for a few days, we're going to talk only about states and the concepts which are in and around these states. What are these? There are some concepts like data type, right? And there are certain concepts like constructors, types of constructors, they all are the concepts which are related to this. Okay. When I talk about states, listen to me carefully. When I talk about the states are nothing but data members. There are some concepts which are related to this, right? For example, data types. There is something called data types. There are two types of data types. Okay, again, I'm going to talk about that. That is one member related to this. There are the second members related to this. There is something called blocks. Okay, there is a third member called constructor. So these are all the concepts which are really related to this particular states, right? So to talk about it, at least I need to talk about this. I need at least one day to talk about this. I need 30 minutes to talk about this. I need at least 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours. So once we discuss all these concepts, once we discuss these concepts, like these concepts, then we're going to start talking about the behavior. The behavior. What are the behaviors? Behaviors are nothing but the actions performed by an object. So right now we're not going to talk anything about those behaviors. Right now we're going to talk only about the states, state of an object, right? This is nothing but a data member, nothing but this, and the concepts in around all this. So apart from this today's session, I think the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, until that, we're going to talk only about this. Okay. For Friday, I'm going to introduce you to this concept called uh, behaviors, nothing but methods in Java. So I think I have given you a clarity about what we are going to talk or what we are going to discuss in almost in this entire week. All right. So now let me proceed. Let me proceed. Cool. So now I said that state of an object is nothing but a property or a data which is used to store an object. Okay. So basically, at the nutshell, state of an object is nothing but data member. State of an object is nothing but data member. So now let us go back to the basics, very basics. Okay, I'm considering non-IT students and then I'm teaching. Okay, let us consider the very basics of mathematics. In mathematics, we used to, if your teacher had asked you to write the equation to calculate the area of a circle, and this is how we used to calculate. So we used to say radius equal to, let's say, 20 centimeter. All right, so then we used to say this pi equal to 3.142, right? Then area equal to pi r square, right? Something like this. So this is how we used to calculate. So area equal to 3.142 into 20 square. right? 20 square is nothing but 20 into 20. 20 into 20 is nothing but, I think, 400. So 3.142 into 400. I think 20 square is 400, no? Yeah, somewhere, yeah. So this is how we used to calculate the area in our school days. So now, related to the same thing, it's almost the same even in Java also. Listen to me, not only in Java, in many programming language also, we store the data in the same fashion. I'll repeat, in even in programming languages, we store the data in the same fashion, okay? It is just that we need little changes into it, okay? What is that? So in programming language, or if you apply this, if you just apply common sense, what is this? This is nothing but a data member. Radius is a data. R is a representation of 20, right? So if I diagrammatically represent this, so basically R is the one which is storing the data called 20. Pi is the one which is storing a data called 3.142. Similarly, A is a data member. A is a data member. Observe, I'm using the word called data member, okay, which is here only, anyhow, right? Some storing some data. I don't know how much it is. It's storing some data. Okay. What is that? 3.142 into 400. This is the data that it is storing. So basically, these are all called data members, or nothing but data storage, data holder, or data storage. So in programming language, we call it as variables. We call it as what? Variables. Even in mathematics also we call it as a variable. Here also we call it as a variable, or it can be constant. It can be constant, okay? There are two things. One is called variable, the other one is called constant. Very simple, very simple. What is the meaning of variable? A data which varies, which changes. The data which changes, which varies, is called variable. The data which does not change is called as what? Constant. Are you clear now? So I'm going to write it here. V means variable, C means constant. Now tell me, can we change the radius? Can we change the radius? Quickly message me in the ping box, in the message chat box. Just message me. Can we change the variable? Yes, perfectly. Yes. So radius can be changed. Hence, it's a variable. I call it as V. Right? Can we change pi value? Come on, pi value. No, it means to say it is constant. Pi value is constant, but radius is variable. Now, what about area? Area. Can I change the area now? Area, does it change or not? Area. Yes, area can be changed, because if the radius changes, area also changes. Hence, it's a variable. Pretty simple. Are you clear now? So area is a variable. Sorry, area is a variable. Radius is a variable, but pi is constant. Cool. Now, let us apply, and we will go one more step. How do you represent this funda in program or in Java? In Java, we represent like this. We say radius equal to 10. Okay, radius equal to 10. Observe. At the end, you should just terminate that with semicolon. This is how we declare the data member. Okay, we just say pi equal to 3.142. Pi equal to 3.142, but at the end you should put the semicolon. But 1 minute, hold on. We learned a fact. We learned a fact that we cannot use special character. This is a special character, correct? No, this is a special character. We cannot use that special character. Now what we are supposed to do then? Right? We cannot use special character, if you remember. That's why what you're supposed to do, you can use some other, like, you can use something else. P, I call it as P, or you can also call it as pi. You give some name, but you cannot use special characters. Okay, but at the end you should terminate it. Similarly, radius equal to, for example, if area equal to if radius is 10, then area equal to 314.2. Correct, no? Pi r square. This is pi into 10 square. 10 square is 100. 3.142 into 100 is this. This is the area. Right? This is how we define. This is how we create in Java. Not only that, now we learned one more fact that this is a constant. Which is constant here? Pi is constant. So in Java, constants are declared by using a keyword called final. Never forget it. Okay, constants are declared by using a keyword called final. So when you say final, it's called constant. When you say non-final, it is called variable. Pretty simple. Final data member is constant. Non-final data member is variable. So I'm going to make a note of all those things somewhere here. Okay, just observe. Final data member equal to what? Constant. Okay, non-final data member equal to variable. Okay, and just for a note, final is a keyword. It's a keyword. Okay, got it? Cool. So now what is variable and variable and constants? So variable and constant are data members. Okay, are data members. What are the data members? Nothing but state of an object. Are you clear? They're nothing but the states of an object. So state of an object is nothing but data member. Data members are nothing but variables and constants. Okay. Cool. These are all just the important points about this. Okay. Now coming back to this, not only enough. When you say r equal to 10, you should you need a memory to store all this data. I'll repeat, we need a memory to store all this data. The question is how much memory is required. Okay, so I introduce you to one concept here. Just observe, guys. Just observe. Stop focusing on something else. Okay, throw your mobile aside. I mean, if you're watching this video through mobile, then don't throw. If you're watching it through laptop, then don't use mobile. Focus here. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to one concept called data type. Okay, data type, very important. Most of the CSIT students already know. I'm talking about non-IT students who may not know what is the meaning of a data type. Okay, pretty simple. Data type is the one which describes the data. I'll repeat, data type is the one which describes the data. So now I want you to apply common sense. The students who are participating in this session, please apply common sense, right? Just apply common sense and tell me, define the data called 10 or define R. Define R. R is a variable which is storing a data called 10. Define that. Please define it. Apply common sense. Forget about Java, forget about programming. Just define that. I want the answer. Quick, participate, define it. Yes, cool. So basically, first thing is that, everyone observe here, the first thing is that you should define it. I'm going to write it here. Okay, please observe, guys. You should define it in such a way that this is a data. Certainly this is a data. What type of data? It's a number. First stuff, it's a number. Yes or no? It's a number. What type of number? It is an integer number. We know the basics of integer number. Integer means a non-decimal number. Correct? No, a non-decimal number, nothing but an integer number. Correct? But it's a number. So in Java, see guys, there are many data types are there. Again, I'm telling you, there are many data types. Right now, in today's session, I'm interested in teaching you only very basics, important data types. Okay, I'll repeat, data type is nothing but the one which is used to describe the data. You should describe the data. In a programming language, your computer will not understand. You should describe the data. You should say, hey, computer, this is a number, and especially it's an integer number. Rakesh, mute your microphone. Okay, it's a number, and this is an integer number. You should specifically mention it. That is done by your data type. Are you clear? So when I say integer, observe here. When I say int, it's a nothing but a keyword, nothing but the data type. It's a keyword or a data type. Okay, don't forget this is a keyword and also a data type. I write it as only DT. I'm lazy to write the complete things. Okay, I call it as DT. DT means what? A data type. Or some people in simple call it as type. In simple, it's also called as type, data type. So you are telling that, hey computer, see, R is a variable. How do you say it's a variable? Because it is non-final. Since it is non-final, it's a variable. It is storing a data called 10, and that data is integer. When you say int, 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 or completely in lowercase. When you say int, I must be in lowercase. Okay. When you say int, computer understands, or Java understands in a better way. Java understands. Okay, my programmer is trying to store an integer number. That's the meaning of int. Are you clear? Similarly, now let's talk about this second one. Now let's talk about this second one. Okay, this one. So I'll take it here. If I talk about it, now you tell me, this is also a number. This is also a number, right? Okay, this is also a number. What type of number it is? It is decimal number, right? It's a floating value, floating number, right? It's a decimal value, correct? But it's also a number. So that's why we must use a data type called as double or float. We must use something called either double or float. So most of the students are familiar with float in college days, but in Java, I suggest you to use double. All right, more about this integer double, we are going to talk in a separate chapter. Listen to me, guys. More about this data type, we are going to talk in a separate chapter. Right now, my intention is to make programming very easy and simple. So now, if someone asks, describe P, listen to me carefully, don't be distracted. If someone asks, describe P, you should say P is a variable. P is a variable, correct? Huh? P is a variable, correct or wrong? Tell me. In the chat window, tell me correct or wrong. P is a variable. Wrong. Someone is saying wrong. Someone is saying no, correct. It's 100% wrong. That's 100% wrong because it is constant. It's not a variable, it is constant. It's 100% wrong. Okay. P is a constant, but P is not a variable. Please understand it. Okay. So P is a variable of type. What is the data type? Type means data type. Type means data type. Data type means type. Okay. P is a very constant of type double storing the data called 3.142. So if I wish to describe it, I describe it in this way, right? I describe it in this way. P is a constant. The data type of P is double. The data type of P is double. It's storing a data called 3.142. Similarly, how do you describe this R? So R is a variable. I'm using the word variable because it is non-final. The data type of this is integer. The type, data type means type. R is a type of int, and it's storing the data called 10. Similarly, now let's talk about this. How do you describe this? How do you describe? Come on. Is it a constant or a variable? Firstly, it's constant, correct? Correct, no? It's a constant, correct? 100% wrong. This is not constant. This is a variable. How do you say it's a variable? Because it is this area purely depends on the radius, and as the radius changes, the area also gets changed. So this is a number. What type of number it is? Float or double. Hence, this is float or double. Basically, slowly without your knowledge, I introduced you to two data types. One is called integer, the other one is called double. These are all the two data types that I had introduced you to, right? These are all keywords also. Both are keywords. Int is a keyword, double is a keyword. Similarly, there are many more data types are there. Let's not talk about too many data types in today's session. I will only introduce you to some important data types which we are going to discuss in which is important at least for further programming. Okay, so now diagrammatically to represent it, this is how we represent. Okay, P is a okay, fine, let me describe this area. A is a variable. I'm using the word variable, non-final. Okay, what is the data type or type? Double. All right, what is the type of A? Type of A is double. And what is the data that it is storing? 314.2. Okay, this is how we describe. Then what is the syntax for it? The syntax to declare anything is this. Observe, guys. Access modifiers. I'll explain you what is it. Access modifier. And then we describe the data type. We describe the type or data type. And then we describe the name, right? Then we say assignment operator. Then we're going to describe the actual data, right? At the end, you use the semicolon. This is how it is. This is this is the syntax. This is the syntax. Example here, we mention one of that access modifier is final. One of the example for a data type can be integer, right? Can be double, can be many more, can be name, not can be, must be name. Like for example, here we have taken an example of radius, right? And then pi, an area, etc. This is called assignment operator. And then here is the data, like, what is the radius value? 10 centimeter, right? And then we say pi 3.142, and then we say area equal to 314.2. At the end, of course, we end this with semicolon. This is how we write it. This is the syntax here, access modifier. So this is a keyword or an access modifier. What is the meaning of access modifier? We'll discuss in a separate chapter, guys, because access modifier is a separate chapter altogether. Please understand, we have many access modifiers. We have something called public, private, protected, default, static, final, okay, transient. There are many more things are there. So hence this is a separate chapter. Don't ask me even a single question about it. Right now, final is a keyword which is nothing but access modifier. Okay, so which is going to define, which describes whether your data is a variable or constant. If it is final, it means to say data is constant. If it is non-final, then it is variable. Value can be changed. What is the meaning of variable? Variable is the one for which the value can be changed. For example, your age, is it a variable or a constant? It's common sense, it's variable, because age changes. Age is not fixed. Your date of birth, it is constant, it is always fixed. Your date of birth does not change. All right, your name, some people, they again change the name. Depends. Some girls after marriage, they change their names, right? Some boys, they are not happy with the names that parents keep them, right? They change their names. It's up to them. How do you consider it? You can consider it as a variable also, you can consider it as a constant also. Depends on your individual need. Your weight changes. Are you clear? Some data which changes, that's called a variable. Okay, and a data which does not change, that's called constant. So these are all certain examples for data members. Okay, now let me give you a few more examples for this data member. Let it be here. Now, now we have learned how many data types that we learned? Only two data types we learned. What are the two data types we learned? Okay, what is the meaning of data type? Data type is nothing but it's a keyword, okay, which describe which describes the data. What is the meaning of describes the data? It describes what category of data. Is it a number or not a number? If it is a number, what type of number? Like that, it describes the data. What are the data types that we learned as of now? Integer and double. There are many more, but I'm just going to simplify it right now. Okay, so now we're going to talk about one more data type called string, which is extremely important. Okay, so you want to represent, let's say, place name. You want to represent the place name. So place name, let's say Bengaluru. You want to represent the place name as Bengaluru. So how do you represent that? Place name PN equal to Bengaluru. It's basically it's an alphabet or set of alphabets. If you observe, it's a single alphabet or a set of alphabets. Okay. So this data type is called as what? For this, the data type is called string. What is the data type for this? String. All right, anything which is a set of alphabets or set of characters in simple, that is called string. Observe here, S must always be in uppercase. Never forget, it's very important. Focus on this S. It must always be in uppercase, not just uppercase. The string, it's a rule that in Java it must always be inside this double quotes. This is how we represent. Okay, in string S must be in double quotes, and we should enclose this in double quotes, and it must be S must be in uppercase. Okay, for example, I want to represent my email ID, right? So how do I represent my email ID? I represent in this way: string email em equal to, I represent this am shishira. Okay, fine, some email ID. Okay, Raj 123 at the rate special character gmail.com. Okay, so now what else is important here? It must be inside this double quotes. Okay, never forget this. So this is the data type. What is this? Is the name of the variable. This is the data. Observe, these are all set of characters. Here we call this data set of characters as alphanumeric. Alphabets are there, numerics are there, as well as special characters are also there. So anything which is only alphabets with special characters, alphanumeric with special character, is considered as string. And remember, in string S must be in uppercase, and also it should be inside double quotes. This is an example for string. Railway, I mean, you are traveling from one place to other place in flight. In flight we have something called PNR number. Mostly you would be knowing about it. So which is an alphabet and alphanumeric. Okay, so PNR equal to, let's say, 138 A46 A46E, for example, right? I represent it inside the double quotes. So this is an example. These are all certain examples for the data members. Okay. So I taught you one more thing. What is that one more thing? String. So int and double I taught. String also I have taught. Extremely important. Int and double is a keyword. What is that? It's a keyword. But remember, guys, string is not a keyword. Not a keyword. Non-keyword. Don't forget it. String is not a keyword. Remember, how do I know, sir? You have to remember it. Okay, firstly, S is in uppercase, and I said that one day while teaching these keywords, I said that it must be keywords in Java must always be in uppercase. Okay, here int and double is keyword, but string is not a keyword. So I'll introduce you to two more data type. That's called, one is called long, another one is called boolean. I'll repeat, one is called long, the other one is called boolean. What do you mean by this boolean and long? Both are again keywords. Int, double, long, boolean. These four are keywords, nothing but data types. Okay, let's understand the speciality about this long. Let's say if your number is a small number, if your integer number is a small number, what is the meaning of integer? Anything which is non-decimal, anything which is non-decimal is called integer. If your integer number is a non-decimal, integer number means non-decimal number is a small number, then you can use int. All right, anything which is 10 digits and above, I'll repeat, anything which is 10 digits and above, then you have to use a data type called long. For example, I want to represent my contact number, then I have to represent like this, long contact number. Contact number is a big number, isn't it? So I have to represent it, 99805170008. Observe how many digits? 10 digits are there. So hence you have to represent it like this. And at the end, never forget to put, L. At the end, you should mention it as L. That's a rules in Java. Okay. The long must always end with L. That's a rule. Okay. So this is how we represent. So anything which is 10 digit, even 10 digit, lesser than 10 digits. Or for example, you want to represent this integer. I just write it here. Integer, pin code of a city. Pin code of a city. 560050. It's still integer, perfectly fine. Okay, anything which is 10 digit and above, blindly go for long. Okay, anything up to that, just use integer. So sir, sometimes I don't know, sir, whether to use integer or long. You can still use long, that's not an issue. Are you clear now? So that's the meaning of long. So I give you one more example. Long Aadhaar card number. Your Aadhaar card number is a 16 digit or 16 digit or 14 digit. I don't know. 14 digit number. Okay. For example, 701300216847. I don't know. At the end, you should mention it as L. So this is. Don't say, sir, since it is L, I'll put it in double quotes. No, 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 no. Double quotes must be used only for string. Okay. Don't get confused. Double quotes must only be used for string. So this is your number. Okay, credit card number, 16 digit number. Okay, hence you need to use long credit card number. Okay, 12340089 2306 and 121286 something like L. This is how we use this. Okay, this is an example, that is. So basically long is a very big number. Long is a big number. Okay, so that's about long. The last one pending, the last one is called boolean. Boolean is another category of data type which represents yes or no answer. Yes or no answer. So in Java, if it is yes, you should represent it as true. If it is no, you should represent it as false. Right? You should represent it as yes. Yes means true, no means false. Okay, in other languages like C or C++, I think yes or no is represented as 1 or 0, but in Java, yes means true, no means false. Again, completely in lowercase. This is also keyword. Okay, this is also keyword. Remember, true is a keyword in Java, false is a keyword, completely in lowercase. Okay, that value is represented by boolean. Small example I'll give. Let's say now boolean are you a government employee? GE, are you a government employee? If you are a government employee, then you should represent it as true. If not, it must be represented as false. Okay, so now are you under 18? If it is yes, you need to represent it as true. If not, false. So for example, like this, boolean under 18 equal to false. No, you are not 18, under 18. Like a 22 age, 25 age, you are represented as false. This kind of true or false is represented by boolean. Are you clear? So right now we're going to stop talking more about data types in detail about data types and the memory. Long means 8 bytes, double means 8 bytes. I mean, CSIT students know it. Okay, int means 4 bytes. There is something called byte, short, all the float. We'll discuss about all these things in further sessions. Right now, to simplify, these many data types are enough. One is called integer, double, long, and boolean. I'll repeat, data type is nothing but an entity which is used to, data type is the one which is used to describe the data, okay, which is used to describe the data. So when you are talking about this data type, it's very important. Okay, there are integer which is used to represent a number, a non-decimal number. If you want to represent any decimal number, floating number, then you use double. Anything non-decimal number again, but which is a big number, more than 10 digits, you should use something called long. Okay, and boolean is another data type which represents true or false. True means yes, no means false. Okay, and lastly, there is one data type called string, which is not a keyword. Okay, in string, S must be in uppercase. String is a data type which is used to describe a data which is an alphabet or a character or set of characters. That set of character can be a simple alphabet or alphabets with numbers or alphabet with special characters, right? All such data is represented by string. So right now I taught you only 5 data types. I'll repeat, I have taught you 5 data types, right? What is data type? It is the one which is used to describe the data. Clear? See guys, I told you many times I said this repeatedly. When I'm teaching, I don't go through your messages. Now I'm seeing your messages, almost 20-25 messages are there. I usually don't see to it when I'm teaching something. So you please message me or ping here only when I ask you to do that, okay? Someone, Kiran Babu is asking, what if I use a long for 8-digit number? Accept here. You have a water bottle, Mr. Kiran. You have a water bottle of 2 liter water bottle. Can it store half-liter water? Yes, simple, perfectly. When long is capable of storing a bigger number, it can also store a small number. Okay. Somesh Singh, what if I use, okay, not Somesh is asking true or false case sensitive. Yes, Somesh, it's case sensitive. You cannot use T and F, 1 or 0. No, in Java it is case sensitive. It should be in lowercase. So Dandu is asking a question, sir, string, constant or variable? First of all, whether it is a constant or a variable is decided by final or non-final. Final or non-final. I'll just give you an example, Dandu. I'll just give you certain examples. Just listen now. Um, Date of birth. You tell me, okay, fine. Date of birth equal to, okay, date of birth equal to 22nd November. Apply common sense and tell me 22nd November is the data. It has got special character, alphabets, and also a number. Hence, it must be in double quotes. And what is the data type? String. String. Now, you also tell me whether can we change the date of birth? Of course, no. The data does not change. So hence it's a constant or variable. It is constant. So how do you declare that? By using final. So final can be applicable for a double, integer, or it can also be applicable for string. So data type does not decide whether it should be final or not. If you don't want a value to be changed, make it as final, okay? So you have to select the data type based on the type of data. You have to select this data type. So you don't select based on final. Final does not decide what should be the data type. Final decides can the data be changed or not. Pin code of a city, which does not change once we create a pin code for city. It does not change. For example, here, integer, pin code of a city, okay? 560061. This is the pin code. Should I put it in double quotes? Of course, no, because it's a number. And this number, yes, it cannot be changed. The pin code cannot be changed. That's why it should be final. Okay. Why integer? Because it's a number. Are you clear now? These are all certain simple examples. That's why observe here. Where is that syntax? Yeah, here is the syntax. Access modifier, example final, data type, name equal to actual data. That's how it is. Now, there are certain good practices that we should follow. But before that, I'll just answer. Yes, Somesh, true is a keyword. True and false is a keyword in Java. Okay, Jibin Giri is asking, sir, repeat the Boolean concept. See, guys, when you write a Jibin, when you write Boolean, okay, you should write it as lowercase because uppercase, lowercase, different. Yes, Saman. Yes, Saman. Yes, Saman. Okay, you should be careful here. Okay, so Boolean means a data. Okay, in programming, many times we represent the data in the form of true or false. I'll repeat, in programming, many times we represent the data in the form of true and false, right? What is the meaning of true data? Data which is true means, which represents yes. Data which is false means something which is representing kind of no. Wherever you want, you can apply this. Okay, you are creating a website. Listen to me. You are creating a website, right? In the website, let's say a banking credit card website. Okay, listen to me carefully. A banking credit card website. So now someone is applying for a credit card. When someone apply for the credit card, you ask them to enter the data. What are the data that you ask them to enter? You ask them to enter phone number, salary, contact number, email ID, blah blah blah. Some other data you want to you ask them to ask the customer to enter. Also, you ask the customer to enter. Do you already have? Okay, I'll demonstrate practically now. Okay. Apply for loan. Okay, apply for loan. I want to apply for some loan. Okay. I just applying for the loan. Now I have a section. I hope that everyone are able to see it. Let's say you are building this website. You apply for the loan. Oh, loans of the sole description of ICICI. Hold on, yeah. Where are now? Why this error? I'm supposed to do now. Okay. Now observe, guys. In this website, it is asking me to enter a lot of data. Like I enter my where do you currently live, first name, last name, date of birth, a mobile number, blah 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 blah. Many more things it is asking me to enter. Like it's not right. I'll use some other examples. Apply for credit card. I don't know. Apply for credit card. And I'm not getting that option there. This website is so okay. I don't know. I'll simply click on apply. Okay. Okay. Now, guys, observe here. Observe here. I got it. So here, let's say when you are building this application, it asks, do you already have an SBI credit card? I want to represent yes or no. See, observe if it is yes, certain things you have to enter. What is your card details you have to enter? If I say no, right? This data called yes or no is represented in the form of boolean. By chance, if you select no in the database in my program in behind this website, a program is running. No, there I represent it as false. If I click on yes, then I represent it as true. Are you clear now? So basically, this kind of yes or no is represented using this, true or false data. I think Jabangiri, you got it now? Now, Akash is asking a question here. Can we use const instead of final? No, in Java it is final. So every programming language has its own the rules. Okay, Akash. In Java it is called final. You cannot use const here. Any other questions, please? Okay. Dandu can be lowercase, can be uppercase. Can be uppercase, can be lowercase. Okay. Super. So what is the size of data types like integer? Jibangiri, I know that you already know the answer. Simply you don't test whether I know it or not. Okay, because you're talking about size means you know the basics of Java. So I don't know whether your question is really to test my knowledge or is it a genuine question. I don't know. But as like I said, the more about the data types, I'm going to talk in a separate chapter called data type and casting. There is something called type casting. I have already made a video. If you still have any questions regarding that, you can watch in my YouTube channel. You can watch the video. The playlist name is typecasting. Okay, and for your answer, integer is 4 byte, long is 8 bytes. Okay, short is 2 bytes, and byte is 8 bits. Boolean is 1 bit, and string, there is no specific memory for string. Okay, so it can be anything. So that's it. Because it's not a keyword, Akash. It's why it's not a keyword, because it's a class. In Java, string is a class. That's why it's not a keyword. Yes, Aman, there is something called char, not chat. There is something called char. Yes, char is also there in Java. Okay. So as like I said that I'm not introducing any other data types right now. At this time, these data types are much more enough. Okay, because in Java we literally ignore float and short and byte. We don't give much concentration to int. Sorry, short, byte, and then float. We don't give much importance. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. I minimize the chat window. Let's move on. Okay. Now, we learned about data type concept, but we originally started our discussion with understanding of states, if you remember, right? This is where I started our today's discussion is with today's discussion, okay? So what is the meaning of object? Object is a real world physical entity which has states and behaviors. So state of an object is nothing but a data member. So when I talk about data member, we need to talk about data types. That's why I introduce you to data type. Okay, now let me teach you one more thing. There is something called good practices. Again, it's not a rule, but something called good practices. Okay, good practice or naming convention. But remember, it's not a rule. It's not a rule. It's not a rule. What is that good practice? So for variables, a different good practice is there. For constants, good practices are there. Constants must be completely in uppercase. Constants must be completely in uppercase. In variable, Okay, it's a little difficult for me to explain what is the standard for variable, but I'll try to. Let's say your monthly salary, your monthly salary. Apply common sense and tell me monthly salary. Yes, Somesh, I turned off my webcam purposefully because the screen appears to be big. That's why. Okay. Monthly salary, is it constant or does it vary? Come thoroughly think and answer. Yes, varies. Perfectly correct. It varies. Why? Because the monthly salary changes from, I mean, many months. Okay, it's not fixed salary. Sometimes so there are a lot of jobs which are dependent on incentives. If your incentives are more, the salary is more. If the incentives are less, you get less salary, right? That's one thing. And of course, every now and then they give increment. So as and when they give increment, salary changes. So it's a variable. So how do I represent? Example, how do I represent that monthly salary? As observe, it's a variable. Okay, so I call it as integer because it's a number, not a very big number. You don't use long because your salary is not in that 10-digit number. Okay, so integer monthly salary should start with lowercase. Monthly salary, there are two words, one is called monthly, another word is called salary. There are two words here, so the first letter of the first word must be in lowercase, followed by the further first letter of the further words must be in uppercase. This is little confusing, but it's a good practice. Okay, for example, I want to represent salary is 25,000. So pin code, there are two words, pin one word, code one word. Then you should say integer pin code, pin code. Observe, P is in lowercase, C is in uppercase. Pin code is this 421103. Let's say pin code. Just a good practice. Okay, I'm going to represent first name string. Two words are there. One is first, hence F must be in lowercase. Name, N must be in uppercase. Pin first name. This is how it is. Okay. If it is, it can have any number of words. Okay. It can be simple one word also. Double radius. Radius, only one word. Then always the first letter of the first word must be in lowercase. Radius equal to 105.3 centimeters. Okay. Let's say for example like this. So it should be in lowercase. Smart city of India, one of the smart city or clean city of India. So string clean one word, city, C another word, hence C must be in uppercase, city of another word, India, right? C must be in lowercase, here C must be in uppercase, O and I must be in uppercase. So one of the clean city of India, Indore. I don't know, I would have made spelling mistake, D-O-R-E-D-H-O-R-E, I don't know, maybe D-H-O-R-E, Indore, I don't know, it's fine. Right, like this is an example. Okay, so remember, this is the standard, first letter lowercase and first letter of further words must be in uppercase. Okay, done. Cool. Next, what about this pin code? Right, what about this? Oh, here I made a mistake. Okay, pin code is a constant. Okay, pin code is a constant, so oh, pin code is constant. Okay, small mistake. Pin code is in constant. So constant, how do you represent constants? Constant must be in uppercase. Okay, sorry. Constant must be in upper. Okay, constant means we declare the constants by using final. Okay, final, and the name must be in uppercase. Pin, for example, pin code or pin, whatever it is. Okay, please observe here. This is a constant because it is final. I forgot this. It is integer. Okay, this is final because it is constant. Data type is integer. Observe this data, it is integer. I represented this in uppercase because it is constant. For example, your date of birth, or for example, I represent like this, final because it is constant, date of birth is constant, string, data type. Then I represent it as DOB, date of birth. Madhur Agarwal. I'll answer Agarwal. Madhur, I'll answer everything. Okay. Yes, yes. I'll explain you. Don't worry, Madhur. Don't worry. No, 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 no. Variable name. No, someone here is asking me a question here by name Dandu. Dandu, remember the rules for this variable name is same as identifier name. It should not be a Java keyword. It should not start with a number. It should not be a special character. It should not have space. Same concept. Okay. While giving the name for this variable, the same concept you have to say, same rules you have to apply. Okay. So, for example, date of birth 22nd November. Observe, I've put it in double quotes because it's alphanumerics, right? With special characters. That's why I put it in double quotes, and data type is string. And I made it as final because this data does not change, because constant date of birth does not change. And it's a good practice. Again, I represented it in uppercase. What happens if I represent it in lowercase? Nothing happens. No error, nothing. It works. That's why I said that it is only a good practice, not a rule. Okay, it's not a rule. It's only a good practice. Yes, Vikash, float also fine, appa. Use float. Don't worry. Enjoy. Enjoy. If you're happy with float, use that float. Don't worry. Enjoy. So we only spoke about, like, the good practices. Any questions regarding this, please ask me. Now, since you have the book, okay, open the book. I'm going to give you one task now, okay? Just open the book, please. Open the book. Now I want you to okay. I now I want you to identify in your book, just write it, okay? Identify states of this, states. Just identify the states of this. You know what is states? State is nothing but the property or the information which is used to describe an object. Oops. Identify the states. Write it fast in your book. Gajakumar, I have not introduced you to float, but still you are asking me question related to float. Float is having only 4 bytes, right? Long double is having 8 bytes of. Okay, what are the states? Color, size, company name, brand, etc., etc. Right? Some of the states: color, price, brand, or registration number, etc., etc. Correct? No. Now let's say color of this car is, let's say, gray color car. Now tell me what should be the data type of it. Come on, fast. What should be the data type of it? Yes, it should be string. Now price of the car, let's say 6 lakh rupees. Come on, tell me what should be the data type of it. A, not double li, integer. Let's say brand equal to something. Okay, Maruti Swift. Now tell me what should be the data type of this. It must be string. Cool. Now registration number something. Okay, Karnataka 01, James Bond 007. This also string. In string, yes, must be uppercase. Don't forget. Some students still mentioning string in lowercase. S must be uppercase. So this is how we represent the state of an object. Easy? Understood now? This is how we represent the state of an object, okay? Okay, now one more last example. One more last example. Now, I want to represent a student, okay? This is a student, okay? Now, tell me quickly, what are the states of the student object? Student object. States of the student object. Come on, fast. Name, height, weight, color. Oh, you're interested in color. Lay dando. Good that you're attending online class. If you're attending offline class, you observe only girls' color. Okay. Okay. Name of the student. Percentage of the student. Name, percentage. Year of pass out. Which year of pass out? Like qualification, etc., etc. Okay. So now name equal to, let's say student name is Guldu. Percentage of this Guldu is 99.7 percentage. Year of pass out 2019. Qualification, let's say BE or BTech. Now you tell me guys, what should be the data type of name? Since it is, yeah, string. What about this double? I only said, okay. Percentage must be double. Year of pass out, integer. Qualification, again string, S must be in uppercase. So this is how we represent state of an object. Easy. These are all called state of an object. State, okay. Okay. Data type, variable or constant name, and then data. So if it is constant, you should mention it as okay. Yeah. Okay. Tarun Bhaskar is saying, sir, year of pass out is constant, sir. So hence put it in, okay, sir, I'll put it as final, sir. Then percentage also, it will not change now. Once you already get the percentage, it's not going to change unless you give revaluation. All right. Yeah. Let it not be that serious, okay, about it. If it is constant, don't, if it is constant, put it as final. That's it. Okay. It's as simple as it. Done. Yeah, Dando, okay, yeah. If it is okay. No, I don't know. Don't be serious, yeah. Brand is okay, fine. What you want? You want this to be final. I enjoy. Make it as final. Okay. Then good practice that it should be in uppercase. Okay. Enjoy, Dando. It's only for you. It's not called a brand. Okay. It's called model. It's a good practice. Okay. Enjoy. Yes. You can give the input from user. Yes, Somesh, it is possible by using constructor and block. For final also, you can give the data through input, but that code should be written inside the constructor or block. Possible. Okay, these are all certain examples. Okay, so basically I'm going to stop now, and tomorrow onwards we're going to talk more about state of an object. Okay, so remember this. So today I spoke only about introduce you to basic data type, very basic data type, and in tomorrow's class we're going to talk about how to accommodate more states in the object. Okay, so one more thing, please remember, from tomorrow it's very clear and very strict that students who have not registered with your email ID and contact number, you will not be allowed. Okay, I'll repeat. if students who have not given their email ID and contact number will not be allowed to class. Okay, please make sure you register with your email ID and the contact number.